Hi there, Angel. Thank you very much for showing your interest in our idea, which is a youth bar called the Shaking Shack, based in Christchurch. We've interviewed some of our peers, and they've identified a problem of underage people hanging around areas, lingering and loitering, and causing trouble where bars are, when they're not even allowed in the bars. And we've found a solution to this problem, which we think would be a youth bar called the Shaking Shack, which can help keep these guys away from all the other people when bars close.
What problems have you experienced when out in town at night in Christchurch?
I've had troubles with getting home and seeing lots of young underagers just hanging around with their backpacks on.
In terms of these young people, what sort of behaviour have you observed?
They're just loitering around and just causing trouble, getting smart to the older ones and just making a nuisance of themselves.
Yeah. So we're thinking of creating a youth bar to facilitate this. What do you think of this idea, and would you have gone to something like it when you were that age?
Yep, I think it's a good idea, just get them off the streets and so they can hang out with people their own age and that sort of thing. I would have gone something like that as long as there was like a ride home and that sort of thing.
What problems have you experienced when out in town at night in Christchurch?
Well, when I go out in town in Christchurch, I tend to see heaps of underagers hanging outside bars. Also, too many drunk people all over the streets, everywhere.
So in terms of these young people that you mentioned, what sort of behaviour have you observed?
A lot of girls, young girls, underagers, dressed up just to stand outside and attract the older male, knocking over bins and breaking signs. A lot of road cones being knocked over as well.
Yeah, definitely. We're thinking of creating a youth bar to facilitate this idea. What do you think of this, and would you have gone to something like it when you were that age?
I think a youth bar would be quite a good idea. Never had anything like that in my younger days, so yes, I think it would be quite a good idea to do. It would stop the younger ones hanging outside the pubs and all the younger idiot behaviour out on the streets.
Yeah. Great, thank you. What problems have you experienced when out in town at night in Christchurch?
Just quite a lot of drunk people walking the streets. They're having the problem of not getting a ride home. Heaps of underagers just hanging around the bars, not going in, just out there. The bouncers being quite biased as well to many people. Yeah,
thank you. And in terms of these young people that you mentioned, what sort of behaviour have you observed?
Quite a bit of loitering on the streets and can be often quite drunk and smart, trying to start fights on the street when it's just not necessary. And a few girls getting quite messy and just falling over and exposing a bit too much that we don't really want to see.
So we're thinking of creating a youth bar to facilitate this. So what do you think of this idea, and would you have gone to something like that when you were that age?
Definitely. We actually had one back at home and it was really effective. You know, you've got interaction with everyone your age, not just the majority of different ages. So, yeah.
That's good.
Good
Thank
idea.
you for that. Hi there, Angel. So in order to identify our target market, we're going to look at 3 factors, and these are demographic, psychographic and geographic. And for our demographics, we've split the Christchurch population into 4 age groups, and so these are under 18s, you know, our school kids, 18 to 35, our adults who do night clubbing and that sort of thing. We've got our 35 to 64ish, you know. These are our older adults who might go to the bar on a Friday night or something like that. And then we've got our 65 and overs, which are our retirees. You know, they'll only be in town just for a restaurant, just for a meal. And so we have come up with that we're going to target the under 18s. In particular, we're going to look at 13 to 17-year-olds because that we see that there is a huge gap in facilities for them in this town. And so what we want to do, we want to create a bar, place for them to go, get them off the streets, and they can actually feel like, you know, that they're having fun, they're at a party, they're at a club.
The next factor into identifying our target market is the psychographic, and this is the study of the lifestyles and the attitudes of high school students in this case, 13 to 17-year-olds. At this age, they're kind of looking for independence, so they want the chance to be able to go out at night. And they also want to, you know, have a chance to be around drinking, and this bar or youth bar will give them an environment where they can match that without the actual drinking. And it also provides an opportunity to socialise, a place where they can meet with their friends out of school, and also in a safe environment to meet people of the opposite sex.
The next factor is geographic, and that's where we are. And we are targeting to set up the Shaking Shack around the outer of the city center, around restaurants, but away from the adults bars. So the youth students can stay away and stay inside our Shaking Shack. Furthermore, because it's easily accessible, so parents can drop off the kids easily, and the kids can go to the Shaking Shack by bus and taxi easily.
Now that we have confirmed our target market, we will now move on to the marketing mix. We will start with promotion. Being a completely new entity, we realise the importance of promotion as we need to establish a Shaking Shack into the market. Our general idea behind the promotion is to firstly outline that there is currently no competition which provides a safe environment for underage youths to experience nightclubbing with their peers. Another promotion idea was to host theme parties on every last Friday of every month, such as a black light party. We'll do this through radio commercials, circulars, promotional talks in schools, social networking sites such as Facebook and newspapers.
Right, so our next factor in the marketing mix is product, and so we've gone with option C, and that's to create a new service concept. And so what we'd like to do is establish a youth bar in the Christchurch CBD, and we've called this the Shaking Shack, and we thought it had a bit of connotations with the earthquake, so we saw it fitting.
Another factor including in the marketing mix is the price, and for the Shaking Shack we'd have a $5 door charge. We'd also provide food such as chips and hot dogs, and drinks including juice, fizzy drinks and energy drinks. And to also help people know what the Shaking Shack is and what it's about, we'd offer discounts via vouchers in the circulars to help gain interest in the Shaking Shack. And we'd also provide drink deals at theme parties to gain more interest in these parties.
So next we have place, and so our place is a physical destination, and we've located it on the outer city centre, sort of around the restaurants, away from bad influences such as bars and intoxicated adults.
Next we have process, and this is what it'll look like. We'll have a bit of a gaming room with pool tables and ping pong tables, a bit of arcade and an eating and socialising area. This will be in a well-lit environment to make sure everyone behaves. And the other side of the room we'll have the so-called bar and the dance floor with the DJ, and this will be a bit darker.
The last factor in the Shaking Shack's marketing mix is people. So we want our staffs, such as bouncers and bar staffs, to be mature and trustworthy, because they are working with young adults. We are targeting to hire experienced workers in the industry. We don't want to train staffs. Permanent staffs are trustworthy and loyal, which willing to train up to work. In our staffs, we are looking for efficiency and personality as well, because they need to be entertaining to keep the teenagers happy to stay in. Also, the behavior of our staff is very important. We want parents don't worry to drop their children in Shaking Shack, and we want our customers come back again.
Sweet. Hi Angel, from the interview, I hope you can see that we've highlighted there's a real problem in Christchurch with youths hanging around outside all the bars at night. And we believe that the creation of the Shaking Shack, underage youth bar which doesn't serve alcohol, would be a good way to help clean up the streets, and also give youths a place to hang out and meet other people rather than being out in the streets with the older people. And it's also a good opportunity to make some money. There's nothing else like the Shaking Shack in Christchurch at the moment, and as you can see from the marketing mix, it's a very viable option and profitable as well, with a strong market, we believe. So from the presentation, I hope you can see the potential in the Shaking Shack that we can, and decide to back us financially into this business venture. Thank you.